because I hated Rini, and I would love to see. And we're gonna go to a little side right here, because this is a question that me and Daniel, which if y'all remember Daniel from he would have been episode 3. Okay, he was filming 2, episode 3. We gotta remember that, kids. Anyways, because Daniel used to live here in the house with us before he got married, and we had a question at one point because he hated Rini as well. Is it considered pedophilia if you want a skull fucker with a railroad spike? So, because God, that bitch got on my nerve.
What is wrong with you?
Alright. Are we ready? Or
Yes,
something similar?
Let me
Okay.
slide that up so I'm not sitting on it.
Alright, so there's been conning going on, and conning
Yes.
is awesome, and I love it, and I would make love to go into cons if possible. But that's not the point
Yes,
yet, kids.
You hit one con, and then, you hit 2 cons. I hit one of them with you.
Right.
You went to GMX, so I'll let you talk about your experience at GMX.
GMX is the bomb diggity. I got to meet the guy who voices Master Chief Steve Downing. I got his autograph on a copy of Halo 3 because I forgot my copy, so I had to buy one. Half the way there, we bought it in Manchester, Tennessee, for like $5. And we'll hold that thought, kids. And not hold that thought.
Continue.
Alright, and there is a guy, which we're going to post his information because I told him that we would do that, which that's more Anime Blast. But I bought a bunch of stuff from him. We bought a bunch of these, but this is the one I want to show because, one, Go-Go Power Rangers and Sentai and stuff.
Yeah.
Alright, we are here at GMX and the dealer's den. The Retro Rangers are here. We're here to take a look around and see what's going on. Let's go. Where's the guy down here to get the very straight one I talked about? I didn't really look at their stuff because I was like, ooh, they have retro stuff.
How's it going, y'all?
They have these. Which, Robbie, don't see this, but this is what I was going to get you for Christmas. The same price as, hey, from Go Onger. Or it was RPM over here, but Go Onger. And let's see, we got down here, we got, let's see how much it wants. $20, that's coming with me. And that's too much.
That was his collection. Watch your backpack.
And Mega Man 6, because I have a hard time finding Mega Man 6 for $29. And this one's $20. That's $50. I'm wondering if he'll do a bundle of them. He'll bundle them for maybe $40 or something.
I see a Doctor Who bag.
Where?
Over here.
How much I went for this? 31, that sounds about right. Well, considering Final Fantasy VII Black Box is normally $50, that's not bad.
He seems to have some really good deals. Oh my.
What?
There's a War of the Worlds comic up there.
Get it, yeah. And they've already got the pre-built. For $4.99, that's not bad.
That's not bad.
Yeah, we're gonna spend some money with this guy thing.
You're gonna spend some money.
Oh, you know what I mean. Do you take cards?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, awesome. Do you want to go ahead and plug in the store? Do you have a website or anything?
The Great Escape Online.
The Great Escape Online?
Yes.
Now, what I was curious to ask is this: you got this one marked for 20, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
You got this one marked for 29.
That's correct.
Would you take 40 for both of them?
30, 40, 50, probably not right now, yeah.
45 maybe? Yeah, 45 maybe?
I
that I got Mega Man 6 from, and I also got Ocarina of Time. This one was marked for 30, and Ocarina of Time Gold Cart was marked for 20. I got away with it with $45, which I've got footage of that. Hoorah! That was really awesome. That was the only really game hunting I got to do there because it was the only guy that had retro games there, unlike previous years. Got a bunch of posters at GMX.
Got completely owned in a SmackDown.
Yeah, which I was going to mention that it was the 2-year champion. He was in my head from the get go, and I knew I didn't have a chance.
So remind the people at home who exactly you are, because I'm sorry, but you are nowhere near distinguishable enough for anybody to recognize you.
Maybe not, but at least I brought anime to America. What have you done recently?
I've starred in a 151 episode series, have 4 movies, have an action line figure, and I'm a 2-year reigning champion. So you tell me, what the fuck have you done lately?
I'm making a big screen comeback. Where have you been in the new movies? Afraid of Screen Flare?
I just remember starring in Insurrection, cashing that check, and then passing it off to your welfare.
At least I'm in a new toy line. Where have your toys been recently?
Going up in price where yours just keep dropping down.
Maybe so, but the packages are so cheap they age horribly. Not to mention, you might want to look at repair maintenance because you're getting a little stiff there.
So you're telling me that you called Apple tech support just to update Siri?
Oh, no, we don't need none of that Apple products.
Yeah, you're right. You don't get any of that Apple products because you haven't been relevant for the last 20 years.
Oh, my
You still
God.
don't know what your goddamn name is.
Oh, yeah, I'm Rick Hutter, the star of the Overtake Defense Force, one of the best pilots I've ever seen, and you just stay on the ship fixing shit. So, how important are you again?
I'm sorry, I could not hear you over how loud these people are cheering for me.
Well, you know, they say stupidity masses in crowds, and I just realized.
Well, you weren't doing bad until you insulted the
I
audience.
insulted the audience. I know I fucked up. I'm not even trying to hide that. But I originally got to go GMX when I was doing vending of energy drinks. Sadly, no outsider food or drink sales anymore, so I really don't.
Pretty much any con we ever go to anymore for some reason.
No, Con-Ning was because they moved, and they want me back in there. I can't do it anymore because it would be just me at this point, which that don't work too well. Because the one day I did that by myself, I was talking like a cancer patient by then, and I was like, But met a really cool guy who was dressed as the Blue Power Ranger.
It's morphin' time!
Gaming Sentai, Retro Rangers. He was really cool. Does a lot of photography stuff. He decided I asked him. I was like, "Hey, will you look like a total idiot with me?" So we kind of did the pre-register because I'm retro red and this is retro black. You can do the math from there. Go Retro Rangers. But GMX is a ball. The room parties were cool. Not a drinker, but met 1 or 2 really cool people in there. And yeah, there was some really good shenanigans in said room party, but
and then
this one chick was dancing. It was amazing. Just leave it there. I'll tell you more about that later. You're too young for that, kids. Anyways, there was that. There was Saber Idol, which they do at Chattanooga, which Chattanooga was there. I'm glad that we ran out of memory card space during that because I can tell I'm so out of practice. I made a fool of myself, and that's not cool. I'm fine with making a fool out of myself in one event, but 2 events. The one event that I actually, usually would be pretty decent at, that was shameful, but it was a good time. I recommend going to Geek Media Expo if you've never been. I'm trying to get this morose motherfucker to go next year.
This year I didn't have enough notice.
No, there's no way you could have. I know that. The hotel rooms were sold out by the time you got there. Max experience.
And then the very next week, We went to Anime Blast,
which it was in its third year. It's a Chattanooga one.
and I'm not gonna lie, that had to be one of the worst run cons I've ever been to.
I was gonna be nice because I want to be positive, so I really think we need to be positive.
They have a lot of potential. I mean, you can see where they're really trying and whatnot, but it's the first con I've ever been to where the guests were pretty much off limits.
They had them scheduled in there.
They had them scheduled, but I mean, most cons they have a table and they have a area where you can.
I will give you that they usually do have a set table. The iShine table moved 2 or 3 times.
So he wanted the Australian thing on the outside, and these are the his full sleeve tattoos on both arms. These are the tattoos he has on both arms. He's got the koi fish and the water off one arm, and then this travel hall on the other arm. And he just found her on our website and wanted to order them.
Yeah, officially have.
And these are actually Chris Medlin's. Because after Pete Moylan got some, Chris Medlin had to have some too.
No, he does. Actually, I can't get him to wear. Chris Medlin has got his up in a display box in his oh. He won't wear it.
Which, there was a lot you could say about Anime Blast. It was fun. It was fun.
Yeah, there was. I mean, I'm not saying it was a bad con. I'm just saying they need people that have run cons to do this thing, because you had your biggest room was taken up by Iron Gaming.
Yeah.
And every time I went by that room, it was empty.
For the most part, yeah.
So that was a waste of space. You had your one big conference room where they were doing. I think they did the concert there.
Yeah, that's what the concert was.
Okay.
The concert was awesome.
Anime Blast. We went there for one reason and one reason alone, and that reason is going to be in. He got Jon-ism to sign that, but
it was pretty pimp. He was.
It was pure luck that we got to meet him.
Really meet him, yeah.
Yeah, because we come out of the Shermay Lee Q&A session.
Well, she was really cool.
She was funny,
really nice, yeah.
But we were getting kind of close to the end of it. They were getting ready to wrap her up, so we decided to walk out
and just pop in and see if we could
just walk by the iShine table. And sure enough, he was standing there.
It looks like he had just woken up. I kind of felt bad for bothering him.
And I started talking to him, and he even said, "Hey man, if it's not on the table, I don't want to sign it." But that's when he kind of noticed what I had was different.
Well, you had said, "Well, okay, that's cool."
Yeah, I was willing to walk away from him at that point. I was like, okay, if we need to come back later, we'll come back later. And he kind of noticed that what I had in my hands was not a typical thing he signs.
It wasn't.
It was a metal tin.
It was in a Power Ranger thing. You said, because you had said, okay, that's cool.
It's okay.
I got my Akira tin here.
Yeah.
And he
goes, no. He asked what it was I wanted him to sign.
Yeah.
Because in my hands is this metal tin, and it's nothing like anything else he's ever signed, or at least that's been handed to him at that point. Because he even says, and it's off camera, but he says everything he gets handed is Power Rangers, Vash the Stampede, and Wolf's Reign. And even in the Q&A session, those were the questions he kept getting, and a lot of Persona stuff. And so when I said Akira
question, yeah.
But when I said Akira, you automatically, you saw his eyes light up. He motioned it over. He said, hand it over. And he signed his name and wrote Kaneda on that tin.
Which was really cool.
It really was cool. And we got him to pose with us in Power Ranger pose. Well, he was in the morphing pose.
Well, that's close enough. I'll take it. I wish I would have,
But he's the
better.
first person that we gave a signed Atari cart to.
Yeah, so,
and he was very grateful, actually. He got a kick out of it.
He got a kick out. Which this makes me happy.
He admitted to being a retro gamer.
And he said he had an Atari 2600. He said he had a copy of Combat on it.
As this person, anybody that does anything for us or Retro Rangers, we sign an Atari card and give it to them.
So it's our appreciation.
It's our way of saying
Combat.
awesome.
We devalued the face of it for you, so.
Yes. It was originally a running joke. Does it still work?
Yeah, it works.
Try it out. I got Atari.
Oh, you did? That's awesome.
I actually think I already have this.
I mean, it's not hard.
Everybody has combat. That's why we do that.
I have 3 copies of it. I have 2 of Pac-Man. So,
Yeah, sure.
I really appreciate it. Thank you. And I mean, it was just like, oh my god.
And he really seemed to enjoy it. And then of course we had the Q&A session with him, where everyone was asking him the same questions over and over and over.
I didn't want to bother him because he had a Q&A Sunday. I didn't get to go to that. There was also a Super Sentai versus Power Rangers panel. I wanted to go to that. That was Sunday, but I didn't want to shell out for a 2-day pass either.
Yeah, but I asked him an Akira question, which really he seemed to enjoy because he had a lot of fun telling that story about, how excited he was to get that part.
Yeah, which is really cool.
And I thought it was interesting. He had no idea. He said at that time I didn't know who Cam Clark was, and I'm not surprised. He was like 2021 when that was done.
Right.
So.
Well, that, and I mean, he had just because he was 16 during Power Rangers the movie. He had said that and talked about Jason David Frank being called Jason David Prank and getting up on the roof and. So I was like, oh my god, this guy is awesome. Meeting him was awesome.
Yeah,
I did get I thought I got the video because if you've never seen iShine or heard their music, that's the band that Jon-ism Boss does. Give them a check out. I've got some pictures on my phone to give him to do that with. I thought, and I killed myself because I thought I'd called it and I didn't. I didn't know if I told you this. They played the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers theme on stage. And I was like... fanboy like a motherfucker, and I thought I'd called it on my phone. It was like a 40 or 30 second video, and I guess I didn't because I've got one 30-second video. I was like, this maybe Robert can use this. It would be a little better than the other video, which granted the other video was at my phone, but. Yeah. I was like, because when we told him what it was for, he's like, well, can y'all take some pictures at the concert and kind of feature that?
Yeah, and I had already had plans for that night. See, going to Anime Blast was really spur of the moment, and it was a week late birthday celebration for me, and so I told him I wasn't going to be able to be there.
But I made sure some pictures because if for some reason, however, you guys from iShine see that, first of all, I really enjoyed the concert. I've been burning that CD,
You've been burning it?
Well, no, not burning it, but burning it up in my CD player. The green one, Fall Down 7 Times, Get Up 8. Like, I've really been enjoying that. That CD has basically not left my CD player in my car.
I have to borrow it.
Yeah, you need to. Well, on the back, if you read the copyright, it says that we're not signed, basically, so burn as many copies for your friends as you want, which is hilarious. Which, Robbie let me hear the other one, because he bought one and I got one. He just seemed like a really fun guy. He was really we just called him as soon as he had woken up.
He was really witty in a lot of his stuff, and he's really high energy. Like during just sitting there at that table, he was really high energy. I really liked it when he got up there and he's like, "I'm not used to this because usually there's
a panel over here.
I'm not used to being up and elevated. I'm used to being like down, and everyone now is looking at my junk, and then they lower the thing. He's like, no, you didn't have to."
Oh, that was great. And there was, I don't know if the guy even checked our channel. I kind of hope he does. I hope he may be even watching this. But there was a guy in line who didn't know that he was the guy who played Kaneda in Akira. He didn't know he was in Power Rangers. He's like, oh my god, that's awesome. He was a little drunk. He was, not gonna lie. It's a con. It happens. But he was like, well, shit, I'm going to get something signed by him. I don't know. And I don't know, were you there when we bought them? No, you had left already. Me and Robbie had bought some buttons from one of the vendors. Just as a cool little
I was
haul.
there long enough to meet Original Sin, who I've already got her on Facebook. So
Okay.
she's the guy. She's the lady that etches into the glass.
Yeah, that chick. She was cool.
She's really cool.
Which we're going to post a link for her. Were we going to
Yeah,
post a link for her?
I've been meaning to give her the stuff to the.
And we're going to post a link for the guys who
This
do
guy.
these arts because these are really awesome. I ended up, between the 2 weekends, I ended up with 6 of them. The Sailor Mars one, a Super Nintendo controller chick one.
Yeah. I ended up with
this one.
I ended up buying the 3 movie posters for the animes.
Yeah. And then I got I got 2 different Halo ones and Legend of Zelda one because they did a really good one of that. But and then Robbie got a Godzilla one, and he's like, do a Kamen Rider, and I was like, do a Robotech one. Just do it. Or do a Macross Frontier.
Just Macross in general.
It'll work out for. Do a Macross Frontier. Cheryl Gnome. I'll take a Cheryl Gnome. I'd like a Cheryl Gnome on my wall. I'm just saying. I'd like to say that'd be the first thing I see when I wake up. But here nor there, kids. Here nor there. Anyways, so Anime Blast. It was awesome.
It was awesome. It needs work. It's getting there.
It's getting there. Really, that just kind of ramps me up for the next con that I know I'm going to, which is Con-Ning.
Yep, Con-Ning in February. We're both going to be there. We're probably going to try to do an episode there.
We are going to do an episode there. That's just going to happen. It's
And luckily, Con-Ning is in our backyard, so
yeah,
I can be there at 8 in the morning and not have to fucking sleep in a hotel that's got parties going on.
I get a room there every year just because.
I know you do.
And I like staying there. I don't have to go home. Which, after you left, which I was hoping we'd get Robbie's perspective for this. We might still try to.
It's Robbie.
And, oh God. After he left, he leaves. Robbie had just gotten there. We got some overlap time between with all 3 of us. And Robbie and me go to City Cafe, which is a restaurant in Chattanooga. It's a 24-hour. It's not a bad place to eat. Can get expensive. Well, anyways, we go down there, and not there's anything wrong with it, of course, but there's this homeless guy, black homeless guy, and as me and Robbie are walking up to the door, he Zig Heils us. Like Zig Heil. He Zig Heils us. Black guy, Zig Heils. Okay, first of all. And then he tells us that Jesus saves. And we're just like, excuse me? I don't mind. I prefer the second end of the spectrum with the Jesus saves thing personally, but still, we're hitting 2 completely different ends of the spectrum here. And we had dubbed it crack evangelism because he obviously must have been on something. He was riding the white pony or something. And we just, the whole time we were sitting there, we'd sit there and eat. One of us would say crack evangelism, we'd lose it. But we told the waitress about it. She's like, I gotta see the shit. and so, I was like, I really wish Robert had not just left for that, because I really wish you had seen that. And that sound again, it's happening.
It's that phone behind you.
I know, it's Josh's, basically his
Josh!
It doesn't even have service anymore. Retro Red!
3.
Gaming Sentai!
John, let me actually cue you so I can make sure that I'm actually in frame.
Gaming Sentai, Retro Rangers. Like that. Oh, yeah. Okay.